Good afternoon, members of Orlando City Council and Mayor. My name is Azell Harris, and my mailing address is P.O. Box 555072, Orlando 32855. Before I get into a brief discussion about the police chief, I'm just going to update you on my case. As you know, I was arrested on November 12th, 2009, when 26 agents from MBI and OPD came to my office while I was running for Orlando City Commission District 5. Just on May 29th, after 3 years on my case, Judge Wayne C. Wooten withdrew from my case. I had to do it pro se because I've been fighting this for, that's right, 6 years. But you folks are going to be surprised when the truth comes about this case. And when we talk about, corruption in the police department or abuse, it's not only physical. You have the coaching of witnesses and the intimidation of witnesses. And in my case, the chief confidential informant was promised that if he testified against me, he could keep his granddaughter with his house. You should know that the chief confidential informant was actually arrested for sodomizing a 6-year-old boy back in 1996, so he pled down to a lewd and lascivious charge. And so when that came out in the investigation, and DCF got involved, one of the MBI officers who have since retired got himself into that investigation and intimidated the witness, and this is why my case is dragged on for 6 years. But I offered the state attorney last month, I said that if you drop the charges, there would be no civil case against you. This case has gone on for 6 years. It's going to be very embarrassing for the city. Now, in regards to the police chief, Mayor, City Council, the Chief John Mina serves at your pleasure. Whatever comes out of his mouth, he's speaking for you. That is something that you need to take in consideration. And back on April 27th, 2015, when the new United States Attorney General assumed office, I sent an 8-page letter that you have to the new U.S. Attorney General asking her for an investigation into the Orlando Police Department because of systemic corruption and the abuse of civil rights. If you go to page 5, I want you to consider a case that happened back on September 5th, 2012. Cheryl Spears lost her son on September 5th, 2012, but the pain and the questions about his death won't go away. She believes the police mistakenly killed her teenage son. His body was riddled with 19 bullets, and the mother doesn't know why. His name was Amari Wims, 17 years old. And what we do know is that the autopsy showed that her son had no gunpowder on his hand. But officers Alberto Negron, Travis Lamont, and Ben Crisari riddled Amari's body with 19 bullets after receiving reports about a robbery. According to the investigation reports, officers fired more than 105 shots, 5 of them striking this kid in the head. The Orlando Police Department called the shooting justified. The department said Amari fired a gun at the officer, and yet the medical examiner's office found no residue on his hands. And the Florida Department of Law Enforcement, which investigates officers involved in shootings, closed the case in May 2013. The state attorney's office ruled the shooting justified. So it's not just the police that are corrupt, it's the Florida Department of Law Enforcement, and it's the state attorney's office. All of them are involved with cover-up and corruption. And so that needs to be said. Here this kid, 17 years old with a baby on the way, shot 19 times, 5 in the head. And by the way, This happened on September 5th, and on August 17th, a jury awarded Mr. Daly $880,000 for having his neck broke by Travis Lamont. And 2.5 weeks later, Travis Lamont is involved with the shooting
30
of
seconds.
Amari Williams. So, Mayor, please take serious when people are talking about the complaints about the excessive force. The police chief speaks for you and the city commission. Please do something about it. And I just, you know, this is very near and dear to my heart to see that this happens, so that somewhere along the line, from a religious standpoint, I know that God will handle all matters, but we're all going to have to do accounting. This is on your watch, Mayor.
Okay, that's your time. Thank you.
I appreciate the time, city commissioners.
Okay, Natalie Jackson.